Okay. All right. Well done, everybody. So on the floor with your roller nearby, I have got a ball nearby, and we'll think about using bands another time, and we might use a stick, but I haven't got mine out at the minute. Right, so girls. So last week we did a bit more on the glutes. We might come back a bit more to the shoulders again today. So give those legs a bit of a rub all the way up, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. Excellent. Rubbing through those knees. Stop at those kneecaps. Give those kneecaps a good old roll around on the knees. Push them out sideways, out to the outside. And then push them across on the inside. Sarah, can you just tip your screen down a bit so I can see more of you? Perfect. And then get your hands all the way down to those ankles. Lovely. All the way down to those ankles, and make sure that those feet are pointing straight up to the sky. So I've got my knees bent, and I'm going to put my hands on my feet. My fingers are under the balls. My thumbs are on the top of my big toe joint, and I'm just going to push on the thumb and pull on the fingers and turn those feet. So I'm pronating them, pushing the arches down, and then I'm going to put the thumb underneath and supinate them. So turn the balls of my feet towards each other. And then I'm going to put the thumbs on the toe joint and turn those toes, get the flexibility, mobility going in those feet. And then release them, come all the way up to vertical. Pop those hands on the floor behind, push that chest forward, bring that chin up. I've got a bit of a baggy jumper on, it's not very easy to see my body shape. Pushing my chest up, bringing my chin up, pushing those shoulders towards each other. And then bring that chin all the way down into my chest. Pushing those shoulders towards each other. Really lengthening the neck, lifting that chest up. Turn those eyes to the right side of that right leg. Stretching through that upper back. Bring that, just turn that face a bit. Turn it clockwise, turn it anti-clockwise. Get a bit of changing the stretch in that neck. And then swing that head through to the middle. Bring that chin down, pushing the top of the head up. Pulling on those heels on the floor. And then turning the head to the left side of that left leg. Keep pulling those shoulders towards each other. Really lengthen that neck. And then rotate that face again. Just a small bit, we're just rocking the face. Feel the change in that neck. And then bring that eyes back to between the knees. And then bring your eyes up to horizontal. And really lift on that chest, squeezing those shoulders together. Take the chin up one more time. Big breath in, release the hands off the floor. Pop them on those legs and roll them all the way forward. Let your knees come soft so they lift up. Holding around the base of your feet. Pulling your armpits towards those knees, and then push that right knee towards the floor and release. And push that left knee towards the floor and release. And then push both knees towards the floor. Holding on to those, the soles of those feet. Feel the stretch through the lower back. Feel the stretch through the armpits. Feel the stretch through the hamstrings. Pull those toes up towards your nose. Feel the stretch come into the calf. Point those toes away, lengthen those legs straight. Pushing those knees down. Pulling the toes to the nose, feel the knees bend a bit as you tense up or you stretch in the calf. And if you push the knees down, it becomes really quite challenging. Push those toes away. Sit yourself up vertically again. Roll those shoulders up to those ears, down and back. Lift that chest up high. Bring those arms up above, breathing in. Breathing out, lowering down. So lowering one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the ground. All the way down. Excellent. Put those arms all the way over the head. Breathing in on the out breath, reaching both arms away. Pushing both feet away. Take hold of that right wrist and stretch that right arm. Bring it all the way over to the left side of the body. And then walk the feet left. Lift your bum up and just pop that over to the right. Cross the left leg over the right leg and push that left hip to the floor. Sorry, right hip to the floor. Keep those right shoulders on the ground. Stretching through that right hand side. And then release the push of that arm. Bring those feet back to the middle. Bring the body back to the middle. Take hold of the left hand. Bring that hand over to the right hand side of the mat. Lift the body up and take it over to the left. And then walk those feet to the right. Cross that right leg over the left leg. Push that right hip down. Push that right shoulder down. Reach that left hand away from that left foot, stretching through that armpit, stretching through that shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. And then release, come back to center again. Bring that body bum back to center, bring those feet back, bring those hands back. Reach those fingers away. And then pull those shoulders down towards the waist. Bring those arms to the sky, keeping those shoulders down towards the waist. Reach those hands up and push that spine into the floor. Breathing in. On the out breath, pull those shoulders into the ground, lift that spine off the floor. Push those hands up into the sky, push that spine into the floor. Reach those hands up, pushing the spine in all the way through, pushing the back of the head into the ground. And then pull those shoulders into the floor, pushing that spine up. Good, one more. Reaching all the way up. And then one more, pulling all the way down. Release those hands onto your tummy and roll onto that that right hand side. So I'm going to roll over to face you. So face me, whichever way, face me. Okay, so I'm supporting the head with the underneath arm. We're going to stretch the chest a bit before we do the roller. If we do the roller, I might let you off today. Put that right leg out straight. Bring that left leg up and over, tucking it under the right leg. So roll that left shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Roll that left shoulder up to the ear, pull it down and put that left arm up into the sky. Let that left arm hang backwards. Let it drag back. Push that left arm, the left hand away. So you will feel more tension in this stretch now because we haven't done the roller, we haven't done the tennis ball in the shoulder. So we're going to push that arm away, push that hand away. So notice how the tension feels in the forearm. Notice how it feels in the hand. Swing that arm up towards the head, let it swing down towards the waist. Swing it up. So we're moving it just through about 1/2 meter. Don't let the shoulder lean backwards, just let the arm hang back. Let the arm swing down behind your body. Don't let the head of the arm come forwards of the body. Swinging it. Bring that hand all the way to the floor in front. Bring the other hand together. Bring that arm all the way up now. Let that shoulder open and let that back turn. And then bring those hands together. And bring that left arm all the way up and let that open. And bring that arm all the way back together. And let that arm come all the way up to the sky open, following it with your eyes, pushing those hands away from each other when you're in this stretch, letting the back stretch. And then bringing that hand back together. Untangle your legs, roll onto your back. Lying flat on the floor on the back, roll those shoulders into the floor, bring those hands up to the sky. Push those hands up, push that spine in the floor. Bring those arms out wide, back to the hands to the floor. Push those hands apart. Bring those hands together. Feel how, bring those shoulders together. Shoulders together, hands still on the floor. Relax. Feel how that left arm feels much more in touch with the ground. The right arm feels sort of perched on it. The left arm feels completely on it. Push those hands away. Bring those hands together above you. Bend your elbows and roll onto that left side. Support the head with the underneath arm. Left leg straight, right leg tucked under. Bring that right hand forward in front of you. Roll the shoulder up to the ear, down and back, and bring that arm straight up into the sky. Let that arm hang backwards. Make sure the shoulder doesn't rock back. Make sure your torso stays vertical. Pushing that hand behind, straightening it. Let the upper arm slide down behind your back as well. And then swing that arm up towards the head, down towards the waist. up towards the head. Spread those fingers. Push those fingers away from the body. Feel the burning feeling in your arm. You can scrunch your hand up, open your hand, scrunch it, open it. So we're getting the blood flow, we're releasing the nerve tension and then pulling it back on, turning it off when we scrunch the hand, pulling it back on when we spread the fingers. Really reaching that hand away. Take the left hand out underneath us, bring that right hand all the way over to touch the left one. Bring that right hand all the way up into the sky, all the way over to the floor behind. Follow it with your eyes. Bring that hand up and over again. Take that hand all the way up and over to the floor, palm up, eyes following. Bring those hands back together. Take that hand all the way up and over, eyes following. Reaching, stretching, pushing that hand away. Bring that hand back. So the fingertips should be level, balls of the hands should be level. That means your shoulders are stacked. Bring that hand all the way open one more time. Follow it with the eyes. And then let those knees swing up, come back onto the back. Leave your arms on the floor and have both shoulders, both arms feel much more open. The chest is more open. Bring those hands up to the sky. Push those hands up, push the back of the head into the floor. Push that spine into the floor. Pull those shoulders back into the ground. Bring those hands back on the floor. Pop the fingers under the bum. Roll shoulders up to the ears, into the floor, and lift that back off the ground. Breathing in. Push the breastbone to the sky. Push off the elbows and come up onto the back of the head a bit, pushing those toes away. Breathing in. Breathing out, drawing in that tummy, protecting that lower back, stretching that upper back, pushing off those elbows. And then release the back down onto the ground. Bring that right leg in. Bring that left leg in. Hug those knees. Feel how we're now waking up that lower part of our body. Pulling those knees in, stretching through that hip. Pushing the tailbone hard to the floor. And then release the tailbone and let the bum lift up off the ground and the lower back bend. And then push the tailbone back onto the floor. Arch the back a bit, the knees will go away from the chest a bit. Now pull the knees in whilst holding onto the lower back, holding onto the tailbone into the floor. Let that right foot go down to the floor, let the left foot, straighten those legs out. Pop those fingertips under the bum, breathing in. On the out breath, rolling those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off those elbows and come up onto the back of the head. Lifting that chest up high, pushing those toes away, breathing in. Spread those ribs, breathing out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in. Spread those ribs as you fill those lungs. Breathing out, push that chest up higher, squeeze those shoulders together. And then release, lowering that back to the floor. Bring that left leg in, bring that right leg, lift the tailbone up off the floor and bring the nose to the knees. And release. Lift that tailbone up off the floor, bring the nose to the knees. And release. Let that left foot go down on the ground, let the right foot go down, lengthen those legs away, sliding the bum, hands under the bum. Breathing in, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Breathing out, push off the elbows, rest on the top of the head again, pushing the breastbone up to the sky. Breathing in, fill the lungs up with air, spread those ribs, point those toes, straighten those legs. Breathing out. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, lifting that breastbone up. And then release one more time onto the floor. Bring the right knee in. Pull that knee up to the armpit. Leave the left leg there. Pull that right knee in. Pull that right leg over the body. Put that right hand out straight. Turn the eyes to the right. Push the right hand out. Turning the eyes right. Reaching, stretching, Lengthening that right hip after the right knee, lengthen the right shoulder after the right hand, and turn that breastbone up so you're rotating and spreading those ribs. And then release that knee back, that body back onto the back. Pull that knee up to the armpit again, lengthening those legs. And then turn that leg, bring the other leg in, pull the other leg towards you and push this knee away, stretching through that glute. Holding that leg in the stretch, push the knee into the hand. Breathing in. Breathing out, release the tension and lengthen, pushing that arm, that right arm against that right knee and push it away. Pull that right foot towards. And then release that leg. Lengthen the left leg out, pull that right knee in one more time. Pull that right leg over the body, pushing the right hand away. Push the right hand away, push the right knee to the floor, follow the hip, follow the shoulder after the hand. Breathing in, breathing out and lengthen. Good. Roll back onto the back again. Let that right leg go out straight. Let those arms go over the head, reach and stretch. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Bring the left knee in, pulling it in. So we haven't done the quads, because we're going to do them in the runner's stretch when we kneel. So I try to stretch them every time, but just do it in a different way. Pulling that knee in. Now pulling that knee over your body. Right, left knee's coming over to the right, turning the eyes left, pushing that left hand away. Follow the shoulder after the hands, follow the hip after the knee. Turning through that breastbone, lifting the chest to the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Roll back onto the back. Bring that left knee up to the chest. Take hold of that left foot, bring that right leg in. Pull the left foot towards, push the left knee away, feel the stretch. Hold the body in that stretch position. Now push the left knee into that left hand. Don't let it move, just resist it. Breathing in. Breathing out, release the push. Pull the right knee in, push the left knee away. Stretch through that glute. Stretch through that hip. Let that right leg go out straight. Hold that left knee in again. And then pull that left leg over the body one more time, pushing that left hand away, reaching, left shoulder follows the hand, left hip follows the knee. Breastbone comes up, turning through those ribs. And then release. And then come back onto the back, lengthen that left leg out, take the hands over the head. Reach and stretch, flatten that back into the floor. And then bring the arms up to the sky, pulling the shoulders down towards the chest. Bring the chin up and roll yourself all the way up and reach towards those feet. Reaching forward towards those feet. Good. Bending. So let those knees pop up as we lean forward. Let those knees come up and then get that tummy right onto those thighs. And then push those knees down towards the floor. And let your feet, don't worry about where your hands are on your feet, Helen. You can let go of your feet if you want, but get those knees straight. Try to get forward with the body. Trying to push the head over the toes, trying to lengthen that torso. And then lift yourself up to vertical. Okay, so we've done a good old stretch. Now let's bring a roller in and let's see the difference that it makes rolling on the roller after we're stretched. So grab your rollers. Let's just get rid of my bagginess because that will get in the way. Okay, so bend those knees in and pop the roller on those bottom ribs. So we shouldn't have so much cricking and clicking because we've just done a lot of stretching. So take hold of the head and the hands, breathing in. On the out breath, so the roller's on the bottom ribs. So maybe a bit lower, Jane, with the roller, more on the bottom of your ribs. Yeah, breathing in. And mum, get it on the bottom ribs, breathing out, push the chest up high, let that head fall back onto the floor. And then bring that head back up. And then move that roller, breathing in. On the out breath, push the bum into the floor, tailbone in the floor, breastbone to the sky, head just drops down. And then bring yourself back up. And then move the roller one more time, a bit higher up, breathing in. Breathing out, push the chest up to the sky, push the tailbone in the floor, let that head hang down. And then lift up. And move it one more, breathing in. On the out breath, push the tailbone in the floor, push the breastbone up and the back of the head will rest near to the roller. You can just use your hands to create some traction. If you've got some cricks in your neck, just breathing in, breathing out, let it lengthen. And then holding that head, lift the bum off the floor and roll that roller down towards those bottom ribs. And then back up. And then down towards those bottom ribs. And then back up. And then down towards those bottom ribs. And then leaning a bit onto that left side. Just leaning a bit on the left. Not too much. And then come back. And leaning a bit on that right side. And then coming back to the middle. And then we can go all the way over to the left. So put your bum on the floor, elbow on the floor and turn. Rest the roller under those bottom ribs on the left. Just rocking up and down a bit. Then just moving that bum down a bit, rocking up and down. And then moving that bum down a bit, rocking up and down. And moving that bum down a bit, rocking up and down. And move the bum one more time so that it's in the armpit. And then if you can, lift the hips up and slide all the way along. If you can't, if you just want to bump your bum along, you can, that's fine. And then go one more time down. And then we can roll over onto the back again. To kind of manhandle ourselves over. So just go up and down the middle at the back again, lengthening that neck. Slowly down, slowly back, and then pop your bottom on the floor. Use that elbow, turn yourself onto that right hand side. Wedge the roller, so lift the ribs, wedge the roller under the bottom ribs, and just rocking forwards and back here. And then I can lift my bum up and I can go down a little bit more. So I think we all get really sore in that bra strap area here. So it is a case of having a good old massage in that with the roller. Use your body weight and push it into those knots. Move that roller down. So Sarah, especially with your shoulder, you need to really get into these knots. And mum with that right shoulder. So bump your bum, move yourself down a bit. So we get that roller all the way, bumping down, rocking forwards and back all the way into the armpit. And then once we're there, we're going to slowly travel it. So again, you can bop your bum up and down if you want, move your feet. Use the elbow on the floor if you want to take a bit of body weight out. And then bring that roller back up to the armpit. And then all the way back down again. Good. And then using your elbow, lift yourself up, roll over onto your back again. One more. Just laying back over it. Just move that roller down. Move it up. Just even yourself out, having lain on the side on your ribs, stretching over, and then bringing yourself back up to sitting. Yes. So having done the stretching first, that might make that a bit easier. So now if you've got your tennis balls, grab your tennis ball And we're going to run up and down the inside of the spine. There's in between, so I'm going to lay on my left, my right rather, roll the ball in, sorry, I'm lying on my left, roll the ball into my right shoulder. And I'm just going to run this between that shoulder blade, rolling under at the base of the shoulder blade. And I'm just going to roll that ball up between the shoulder blade and the spine. So up through those knotty bits. And I'm going to get up towards the base of the neck. So I have to lift my chest up and down, lift the chest up and down to move the ball. And then I can move my bum, move the chest up and down, get that ball into the base of the neck. And you might have to move that arm. So I end up with my elbow in the sky here. And my fingertips are on my shoulder. Because it makes that flesh softer. Okay, and then I'm going to skip over the actual end of the shoulder joint and just get that, put the ball under the base of that shoulder blade in that bra strap area. And rocking forwards and back over it there in that bra strap area. So Sarah, just go up the middle of, in between the shoulder blade and the spine. And then in that, she's got a dog nicking her ball. And then rocking in that uncomfortable area in that bra strap area. So if it's very uncomfortable, you can just gently ease across through that. And then we can go back along the base of the shoulder blade to the base of, between the shoulder and the spine. Okay, then we can go over to the other side. So resting it with the ball at the base of the shoulder, between the shoulder and the spine. And then just ooching like a caterpillar, lifting that body up and down over the ball. Exactly like a caterpillar, that's a very good metaphor. Squigging yourself along. And interestingly, as I get up towards my neck, if I just open and shut my jaw, I feel like I am loosening the jaw joint, the neck joint, which is all very obvious because these are the muscles that join to the jaw. Okay, going along the base of the neck there, over the top of that shoulder. So again, I've got my elbow in the sky. I've got my hand at my throat a bit more here. So just do what you need to go into the bits that are knotty with you. So it's quite hard and it's quite painful. So there's a difference between, I was saying this the other day, there's a difference between rolling the ball on muscle that's got lactic acid. Right now, get the ball in that bra strap area. So muscle that's got lactic acid in it, which is what these knots are, that gives us that sort of dull ache that hurts, but it's quite satisfying to press into, which is like when people put their thumbs in your shoulders, versus a tendonitis, which is often on the end of the shoulder, sorry, where the arm joins the shoulder. That sharp pain is sometimes a sort of more tendonitis type feeling where the tendon of the muscle is actually being pulled and it's inflamed. So that ache is not very nice to put the ball into, because it doesn't have a nice, it has a pain feeling, you know what I mean? Okay, rocking forwards and backwards through this bra strap area, just moving through that, and then taking the ball around the base of that shoulder and into between the spine again. Okay, rocking through there, and then let's get rid of that ball. Okay, so lying on your back again. Take those arms up straight, push them away. Feel how much easier the arms and shoulders are to go to the floor. Push those legs out straight. Feel how much easier that all is. Bring those arms up to the sky. Reach and push those hands up, pushing the spine into the floor. And then pull the shoulders into the ground and lift that spine up. Now roll onto, so you're facing me, doesn't matter which way. So I'm going on my right. Put the underneath legs straight, underneath arms supporting the head. Tuck that top foot in. And we're going to do this shoulder and you're going to feel the difference. So roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Put that arm straight in the sky. Let that arm hang backwards. It should feel less tensiony up through the arm. I still feel it in my forearm, but I don't feel it in the palm of my hand. I'm going to push that shoulder, that hand away. I'm going to swing that hand up, swing it down. So I'm able to stretch the chest more without all the back muscles and the ribs and stuff getting in the way of it. Bring that arm back towards the floor. Take that arm all the way over, let that underneath arm come out straight. Feel how much more movement you've got in your spine. More rotation, shoulder on the floor, knee stays easier on the ground. Bring that arm all the way up. Bring that arm all the way over. Take that arm to the floor. Bring that arm back together. Travel that hand on the floor above your head. Above your head. Big circle around your body, around your head. Reach it behind. Bring it all the way down over the leg. Back onto the other hand. All the way around. Follow with your eyes. All the way around. All the way over the leg and back. Bring that arm up into the sky. Up into the sky. All the way over, opening. Let that shoulder come to the floor. The knees on the ground still. Much looser. And then relax those knees. You can let the arms swing down so you change sides. Roll yourself over. I have to move on the mat a bit or I come off it. Put the underneath leg straight. Support the head with the top, with the underneath arm. Lying on my other side. Roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back on the top arm. Bring that top arm up into the sky. Let that top arm hang backwards. Let that upper arm pull to the floor. Pull the top of the top of the humerus. The top of the upper arm is pulling down behind the body. Stretch those fingers away. Feel how you don't have that tension through the fascia of the palm. Reach that hand away. Swing that hand up towards the head, down towards the bum. Up towards the head, down towards the bum. Up towards the head, down towards the bum. Keep it in the middle, pushing that hand away. Breathing in. Put the underneath arm straight. Bring the top arm all the way over, hands together. Bring that top arm all the way over to open. Keep that top knee on the floor. Let that top shoulder come over, stretching. Bring those hands back together. Bring those hands all the way open. Bring those hands back together. Travel on the floor, this top hand all the way over the head. All the way around, over the leg, back together. On the floor, all the way over the head, all the way around, over the leg, back together. Good, okay, release those legs and roll over onto your tummy. Roll onto your tummy. Forehead on the ground, hands either side of the head in that pitchfork position. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw the tummy in, clench the bum. Having these hands on these elbows on the floor. Elbows are about sort of mid ribs, fingertips at the top of the head. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift that upper body up, keeping the belly off the floor. Pulling up as if there's a candle under your chin. Pulling those shoulder blades down towards your waist. Lifting your tummy off the ground, pushing the pubic bone into the floor, tensioning those legs, lengthening them. Pushing, breathing in, breathing out, release. Breathing in, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, lengthen the legs, lift those knees off the floor. Push those forearms into the ground. Push that chest forward, bring that belly up. Breathing in. And then breathing out, release. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push those forearms into the ground, lengthen the legs, lift that upper body up. Imagine you've got a candle under your throat. Lifting that, trying to get that breastbone away from the floor, but you've got your bottom ribs still on the ground. Holding yourself here, legs are nice and long. Lift that right leg up for 3, 2, the thighs coming up, 1, and lower. So lifting it up and down, Sarah. So keeping that core strong, belly's lifted off the ground, push the pubic bone in the floor, lift that left leg up, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Both legs down to the floor, body down. Keep that forehead on the ground, lift the tummy away from the floor, push the pubic bone in the floor, pull those shoulders down to the waist, breathing in. On the out breath, clench the bum. Now let's lift the right leg here, lift it up for 3 and lower. 2, lower, 1, lower. So just lift it so it's about 4 inches off the ground. So we're lifting the thigh up, breathing in. Left leg, lifting up for 3, 2 and lower, 1 and lower. Drawing the tummy in, making sure that's lifted. Lengthen both legs away, so both knees and feet are off the ground. And we're going to lift, this is going to be the rest position. We're going to lift those thighs up for 3 and lower. 2, lower, 1, lower. So we're making the bum work. We're going to go again, clench the bum, draw the tummy in, lift it off the floor, lift those thighs up for 3, lower, 2, lower, 1, lower, and relax. So I want you to try to lift the head, you're trying to lift the top end of your thigh. So you're trying to lift your the top of your, where the leg joins into the bum. So roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, draw that tummy in and lift it up. Clench those legs and lengthen them. And again, lift the top end of the thigh, both legs together, 3, ease, 2, ease, 1, ease. Good, relax. Okay, notice how hard or easy that was, how it felt. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Drawing the tummy in, lift it off the floor. Push off those forearms and lift that chest and head up. Stretching through the front of that body. So bending that chest, Jane, pushing the breastbone forward towards the front of the mat, keeping the belly lifted. And lower down. Slide your hands down to the bottom ribs, keep those elbows back and together. Breathing in. Clench the bum, lift those legs off the floor. Draw the tummy and lift that off the floor. And then lift the chest and shoulders and head up as if you've got that candle under your throat. Breathing in. And on the out breath, push off those hands and come onto your thighs. So you're on your thighs and your pubic bone. Yeah, and lower down again onto the bottom ribs. So Sarah, just come onto the thighs and pubic bone, breathing in. On the out breath, push off those hands, come onto the thighs and pubic bone. So I'm bending where the leg goes into the hip. Ease yourself down onto the bottom ribs. Ease yourself right to the floor. So what we're trying to do is bend where the leg goes into the pelvis, which is exactly the same as when you're now, if you're lying here, clench your bum, draw your tummy in, lift those legs up. Now lift both legs up to the sky for 3, ease, 2, ease, 1, ease. So when we do the cobra, we're doing exactly the same bend as the leg extension. The leg extension, we use our bum muscle to bend it to invert the pelvis to leg joint. When we push on the cobra, we use pressure off our arms and and using the floor to make ourselves bend. So we're going to make ourselves bend. So we roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clenching the belly, lift the tummy up. So we don't want to bend at the waist. So we have to hold the waist really strong. Breathing in, clench the bum because we're going to push in from the bum. Lift that chest up and bend off the chest. And then push the hands in the floor, keep the belly straight. bend the leg from the pelvis. Push the hands into the floor, come onto those knees. Push the bum into the air, go back into child's pose. Stretch that lower back in case we've got any tension running in there. So the hands stay where they were on the floor, knees stay where they were. Pushing those knees away from each other and release. Push the knees away from each other, re-engage the bum and release. Push the knees away from each other. Now lift that body up onto all fours. Keep those shoulders back and down. Let those hips swing forwards and come through again into that up dog. Clench with the bum, bend the elbows, lower those thighs only to the floor. Draw the tummy in, lower the ribs to the floor, and lower the chin or forehead to the floor. So we're bending at the bra strap area, and we're bending where the leg goes into the hip. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs. Draw the tummy in. Lift that chest up off the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off those arms and come onto the thighs and pubic bone. Breathing in. Push off the arms, come onto the knees. Good. And then bum in the air and back into child pose. Okay. Sarah missed out the bending bit there, but we'll do it again in a different way. Run a stretch. So pulling the knees apart, come up onto all fours. All right. Hands are on the floor, middle fingers parallel, knees are under the hips, feet are level with the knees. Roll the inside of the elbows forward and engage those shoulders. Pull those knees apart and engage the glutes. Turn the tailbone down, keeping the glutes engaged, back up, eyes down. Turn the tailbone up, pulling those knees apart, sink the belly down, bring those eyes up. Holding strong here, keeping in that position, slide those hands forward. Lower that chest to the floor, keeping those knees pulling apart. So we're keeping the glutes engaged, lengthening through those armpits, pushing that chest to the ground. So now we're doing the cobra. We're getting that chest to bend. So we can't bend the lower back, we've got our bum in the air. So we've got to bend through the chest, pushing our boobs to the floor. Pushing those hands away towards the front of the mat. Stretching through those armpits. And then release those armpits. Lift yourself and walk your arms back to under your shoulders. Turn that tailbone down, push that back up, arching it, eyes to the knees. And then come into neutral. Do the puppy again, come into neutral. Pull the knees apart on the mat. Slide those hands forward, sink that chest down, keep the bum above the knees. Bum above the knees, so you're trying to get your chest to the floor, trying to get those boobs down, trying to get the chin on the floor. Pushing those hands away, pushing through those armpits. Breathing in. Every little out breath, creep those fingers forward, but don't let the bum come forward. You're just stretching the armpits and the chest. Keeping those knees pulling apart, support through the glutes, reach through those arms. And then release the arms, walk them back in a bit, keeping the knees pulling apart, come back up on all fours. Turn that tailbone down, push that back up. So we do the opposite. And then come into neutral. Okay, come up, walk your hands back and put the left foot up on the floor in front, right knees on the ground. So pubic bone or crutch, push that crutch forward. So again, we're bending where the leg goes in the pubic bone. Why is this so important? Because we need it for walking. We need to be able to get the leg behind the pubic bone when we walk so that we aren't messing our pelvis around, which isn't messing our lower back around, which isn't messing our knee around either, of the other leg. So pubic bone forward, drive that body forward, leading with the pubic bone. So if I look down my front, breastbone, tummy button, I can see my pubic bone. My pubic bone has not disappeared behind my boobs. I can see it. It is there. So feel the stretch in the front of this hip. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. pushing this knee into the floor. Visualize you're driving it forwards. So you're tensing the front of this leg. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release the tension and push that knee down. Push this right hand up. So we stretch through that right hand side. Stretch through this hip. Stretch through the psoas. Stretch through the side. Let that side slide out to the right. So we get an extra stretch there. Breathing in, breathing out. Release that arm. Bring that arm back down. Drop the bottom backwards. Put those hands on the floor. Oh, can you put your hands on the floor? Can you guys, okay, hang on, drop the bum back and straighten that front leg. You might need to hold on to something. Can you straighten that front knee? Yeah, well done, Sarah. Well done, Helen. Jane, you might need to put your fingers on the end of the bed. Yeah, so it's a hamstring stretch. Put your fingers there, yeah, so put the foot forward. So pull those toes up towards the nose and push them away. So if you can stick your bum out and take your tummy button towards your thighs, it's not a nose to the knees, it's tummy button to the thighs. You'll feel it in that hamstring and in that calf. Okay, release that. Bend that front leg, and then you can change legs over. So come back to kneeling, so you can use the whatever you've got there. Okay, bring that right foot up in front. So, lifting up tall, pubic bone drives forward. Look down my front, I can see my breastbone, tummy button, pubic bone. Lift myself up, push that left knee into the floor, clenching with this left bum, pushing into the floor. Now, imagine I'm pulling that knee forwards towards the other leg. So tense the front of this leg. So I find it hard to keep this glute engaged. This left side's not as good. Bring that left hand up into the air. Now release the tension of the front of the leg and push that knee, push off that knee. Push that knee down, push that hand up, let that body stretch out towards the left. So this is a bit the same as when we lie on the floor and we take our hands and feet to one side of the mat and let our bum go to the other side. Stretching, but pushing in that hip flexor. Release that arm and let our front leg go straight. Push the bum back, so you can keep the hands on the thigh if you want. If you can get your hands on the floor, get them on the floor. And you're keeping your torso in neutral, so try not to curve. So stick your bum out behind you more, Jane. So even if my hands are up here, I've got to stick my bum out behind. You're bending your chest. Get your tailbone behind you. So we're here, hand on the hip, push my arse back. Push my arse back like that. Tummy button to the floor, arch your back. Yeah, arch your back, lift your chest up. Mum's the same, mum. Chest up. Okay. Okay, sliding down. Bring the toes to the nose. Push the toes away. So, mum, you need that leg straight. So, therefore, you need to get your hands off the floor. You need to put them on the table. And flex the foot. Same with Sarah. Straight leg with the front leg. It is straight. Sorry, it's a shadow. Sorry. Flex. Bend. Point. Flex. Okay, so the idea of this is your tailbone's pushing out behind. Bend that front knee. Come back onto your hands and knees. So now we're going to go back down to the floor. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Take those hands to the front of the mat. Knees are pulling apart, feet are parallel to the knees. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, and swing those hips forwards. Swing those hips forward so they come to the ground. Mum, you're okay. And then bend the elbows, lower the thigh. Bend the elbows, lower the chest. And then put the head on the floor. So we're going to do we'll stay down here. Forehead on the ground, clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Draw the tummy in and lift the belly off the ground. Holding yourself long now, lifting that thigh of the right leg up for 5 and lower. 4, lower. You should have more movement now. 3, lower, 2, lower, 1, lower. Good, well done. Okay, clench with the bum and the left leg. Lifting that thigh up for 5 and lower. 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. 1, lower. Okay, both legs. So draw the tummy in, push the pubic bone into the floor. Clench with the bum and lift both legs up. 5, lower. So we clench the bum and lift. Ease the bum and lower. Lift for 3. Ease and lower. Lift for 2. Ease and lower. Lift for 1. Ease and lower. 5 more. Clench and lift for 5. And ease. Clench and lift. Ease. Clench and lift. Ease. Clench and lift. Ease. 2 more. Clench, lift, lower. Clench and lift. And lower. Bring those hands by those bottom ribs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the tummy, clench the bum. Lift that upper body up, looking at the floor. So the puppy pose, bending at the chest and the shoulders. That's what we did when we slide our hands out. Breathing in. On the out breath, push up onto those thighs and the pubic bone. So that's the same as the runner's stretch. Push off those hands and come onto those knees. Push that bum in the air, go back into child pose. Oh dear, well done. Good, we did a lot, but we're trying to get the change of the movement. So pushing those hands forwards, pulling those knees apart, breathing in. Walk those hands to the left-hand side of the mat. Drop the bum to the right. And then walk those hands to the right-hand side of the mat and drop the bum left. Bring those hands back in the middle, pushing. And then lifting yourself up onto all fours. Turn that tailbone down, push that back up, bring the eyes to the knees. Turn that tailbone up, bring the chest down, bring the eyes to the sky and lengthen. Come into neutral. Walk those hands and knees forward and come to sit on the mat. Sit on the mat. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. So sitting on the mat, pushing those legs out straight. So hold behind the thighs, pulling forward onto that front bottom. Lifting that chest up high, pushing those knees down towards the floor, keeping the toes to the nose, keeping the toes up, making sure the middle of the feet is parallel, making sure if there was a laser beam off the middle of your knee, it's up in the sky. So if the knees are pointing towards each other, clench the bum and the thighs will turn out. Pop those hands on the floor behind you. Lift that chest up, pulling those shoulder blades together. Push those knees into the floor, clench with the bum, okay, so I do one mean one. Lift those hips up high. So same thing we've been doing, same part of the thing, pushing the hips up, looking down at my pubic bone. Lower those hips to the floor. So we want to get the pubic bone up. So this is what I would use the band for when we lie on the back. Breathing in on the out breath, clench with the bum, lift those hips up, pushing off those hands. Push the feet into the floor and lower. Good, so we can bend, you can, so have your knees a bit soft if you're feeling it in the back of your knees. Right, one more. Breathing in on the out breath, push those heels into the floor, lift those hips up. Good, Sarah. Good, Jane. Good, Mum. Good, excellent, Hannah. Pushing off those hands, pushing that chest up. And then lowering down to the ground again. Push off those fingers. Hold behind those thighs, lift that chest up. Roll yourself down towards those feet, keeping the legs as straight as possible, pushing that head over those toes. Bringing yourself back up to vertical onto those seat bones. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky. Chest forward, bring those arms all the way around. Touch the floor. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky. Go on, Jane. One more, chest up. Reaching up high. Bring those arms all the way up wide. Keep that chest up, Jane. Shoulders, yes, shoulders back. Breathing in. Bring those hands all the way up into the sky. Big breath in. Keep them up, Mum. Breathing out. Push those hands up. Lift that chest up, Jane. Shoulders back and down. Pull the shoulders back and down. Pull the chest up. Good, Sarah. Really reach, Helen. Up tall, breathing out. Release those arms. Rest them on your legs. And roll your shoulders. Well done. Jane, that chest is so much